American Civil Liberties Union is behind some of the lawsuits underway. Their National Political Director weighed in on the battle ahead. Have a listen.
The concern now is for those who were not, who had not left the ground, who were based abroad. Those are the people we're still going to be fighting for. So overnight, those who were stuck in limbo, hopefully the rulings that came down were a big victory for them. And if the Customs and Border Patrol are not enforcing it, we are going to be damn sure fighting to make sure that they do enforce it.
Well, let's delve a little more into the legal issues surrounding the travel ban. Leila Mansouri is an immigration lawyer who heads the Washington chapter of the Iranian American Bar Association, and she joins us now from Washington. Thanks so much for joining us, Leila.
Thank you for having me.
We know that a federal judge in New York has temporarily blocked part of this executive order. Trump's policy seems untenable. Just explain what this ruling means.
Well, I mean, this ruling has created chaos because it took effect immediately. The rules were not clearly defined, so there's a lot of vague language, so people left in the air. And as a result, it takes a long time for local law enforcement to know what they have to do. And unfortunately, I have a relative currently in detention at Dallas International Airport. A 70-year-old elderly woman is still there in detention, and CBP is not complying, or they're being difficult in enforcing the judgment that we got last night, the nationwide stay.
I'm very sorry to hear about your relative, and I hope that can be resolved very quickly. There's no doubt a lot of critics of this executive action, some calling it amateur hour because this order failed to brief customs agents, immigration organizations, people with green cards, visas. So much confusion, but also a lot of questions about whether this is even constitutional, whether it's unconstitutional. A number of lawsuits are underway. How do you see this unfolding?
Yeah, I believe that there will be many lawsuits to try to slow down this administration. It's going to take, several weeks, maybe even months, for authorities to know exactly who can come and who cannot come. I don't believe that all of this is constitutional, definitely not, especially banning legal permanent residence. I mean, a permanent residence in the United States is a path to U.S. citizenship. Someone could be 2 days away from becoming a U.S. citizen, and they may have taken a trip to Mexico for a week, and now they can't come back to their homes. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought this could ever happen in the United States.
Yeah, it's certainly a massive shock for everyone affected. And of course, not only are there accusations about a breach of the Constitution, but also international laws like the Geneva Convention, which protects refugees, some of the world's most vulnerable people.
Right. And if this is meant to be a ban on terrorists, why are the countries listed? Those citizens from those countries have not committed any terrorist activities in the United States. For example, Saudi Arabia is not on the list of the banned countries, and most of the 9/11 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. So it's just not a logical ban. Is a 70-year-old woman who's detained in Dallas airport a threat to national security? Definitely not. So I don't think this is accomplishing what it was set to accomplish.
It's an interesting point you make about 9/11, because Trump did cite 3 times when he signed this executive order that 9/11 was one of the reasons for this order to protect Americans. Why do you think some of those countries implicated, that had citizens implicated in 9/11, are not included? Do you believe it's because he has business interests in some of those countries?
Even if he does not have business interests, the United States might have business interests, and I know that that Saudi Arabia has given a lot of money to lobbying groups in the United States, so they have their interests protected here. As an Iranian American, I can say for sure that no Iranian has ever committed a terrorist act in the United States. And secondly, Iranians are some of the most affluent and educated minority groups in the United States. Silicon Valley is practically being run by Iranians. Most Iranians in this country are, very successful. They're all peaceful people, and they have assimilated very well into the United States. Unfortunately, because the government of Iran is tense with the U.S. government, you know, we're probably seeing these things unfold. But I just want the American people to know that the people of Iran are different from the government of Iran, and the people want peaceful relations and democracy.
Leila Mansouri, it was great to have your perspective on all of this.
Thank you
Thanks
for
so much
having
for
me.
joining us. You're welcome. Well, as we've said, so many people with hopes of coming to the United States are now stopped by the travel ban. CNN.com has a gallery of their stories, from those seeking refuge from war to wives trying to return home to their husbands and parents hoping to see their child graduate. You can follow their stories and much more at CNN.com. Well, still to come on CNN Newsroom, we'll have more reaction to President Trump's immigration order from the Middle East. Plus, the journey of 1,000 steps could end before her feet hit U.S. soil. CNN talks with an Iraqi Yazidi woman who was blocked from her flight to America.